Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between tall mountains, there lived a stonecutter named Haru. Every day, Haru would leave his simple hut and head to the mountainside to carve out stones. It was hard work, his hands were rough from years of hammering, his back ached from the labor, and the midday sun burned his skin as he worked. He wasn't wealthy, but Haru knew his work was important, as the stones he cut were used to build homes and temples for others. One day, while he was busy carving, Haru heard the sound of bells ringing and horses' hooves approaching. He looked up from his work and saw a wealthy merchant, riding in a lavish carriage, dressed in the finest silks, and surrounded by servants who attended to his every need. People in the village bowed as the merchant passed by, showing respect and awe. Haru looked at the merchant and sighed deeply. How powerful that man must be, he thought. He has everything: wealth, status, comfort. I wish I could be like him, instead of a poor stonecutter. No sooner had he wished than something miraculous happened. Haru was no longer standing in his work clothes, chiseling away at rock. He was suddenly in the finest silk robes, seated in a luxurious carriage with servants attending to him. He had everything he could ever want: money, admiration, and comfort. But as Haru enjoyed his new life, he began to feel the sun's heat. It was so intense, even his silk clothes couldn't keep him comfortable. Sweat poured from his brow, and he became irritable. Looking up at the blazing sun, he thought, the sun is more powerful than I am. It controls everything with its heat. I wish I could be the sun. And with that wish, Haru was transformed into the sun. He shone brightly in the sky, his rays touching everything on earth. He felt powerful, knowing that people sought shade to escape his heat, and that his light gave life to plants. But then one day, a dark cloud moved between him and the earth, blocking his rays. No matter how hard he shone, the cloud would not move. Haru grew frustrated. That cloud is more powerful than I am, he thought. It can block my light and do as it pleases. I wish I could be the cloud. In an instant, Haru became the cloud, drifting through the sky, bringing rain and blocking the sun's rays. He moved as he pleased, covering fields and villages, making people run for cover as the rain poured down. He felt strong, able to bring both relief and fear. But then, he noticed the wind picking up, pushing him across the sky, blowing him away without resistance. The wind is stronger than I am, Haru realized. It moves me at its will. I wish I could be the wind. Suddenly, he was the wind, rushing across the land, howling through valleys and mountains. He blew with all his might, uprooting trees, lifting rooftops, and scattering everything in his path. Haru felt invincible, until one day, he blew against something that would not move. A massive stone, standing tall and unyielding, remained unaffected by his strength. No matter how fiercely he blew, the stone would not budge. Haru became envious of the stone's power. That stone is stronger than I am, he thought. It stands firm against everything. I wish I could be the stone. And so, Haru became the stone, a massive, immovable rock, standing strong on the mountainside. He was powerful and indestructible, feeling proud to be so enduring. But one day, he felt something sharp tapping against him, chipping away at his side. He looked down and saw a stonecutter, a simple man, chipping away at him with a hammer and chisel. Haru suddenly realized that the stonecutter, the person he once was, had the power to shape even the strongest stone. It dawned on him that true power wasn't about becoming something else. It wasn't about wealth, or status, or even being invincible. It was about recognizing the value in who he already was and the unique impact he could make. In that moment, Haru wished to be himself again, the humble stonecutter. His wish was granted, and he found himself back on the mountainside, hammer in hand, feeling the familiar weight of the chisel. But this time, there was no envy in his heart, no longing to be someone else. He smiled, realizing that he had always been powerful in his own way. He had the skill to create, to shape, and to contribute meaningfully to the world around him. Haru picked up his chisel and got back to work, content and at peace, understanding that happiness wasn't about changing who he was, it was about embracing his true self. Let's learn some useful words from the story. Carve out, to cut into something to make a shape or space. Example, the artist carved out a beautiful statue from the block of wood. Chiseling away, to gradually cut or shape something with a tool called a chisel. Example, the sculptor spent hours chiseling away at the marble to create a statue. Sought shade, tried to find a place away from the sun, usually under a tree or structure. Example, during the hot afternoon, people sought shade under the large tree. Howling, making a loud, strong sound, often like the wind blowing hard. Example, the wind was howling through the trees during the storm. Invincible, impossible to defeat or overcome. Example, the hero felt invincible after winning every battle he fought. Chipping away, breaking off small pieces bit by bit. Example, the workers were chipping away at the old wall to make space for a new door. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.